Jessi, let's see your tiers, and I cannot wait to hear these categories.
Jesse, we had all agreed we were keeping the same tiers, and then you went rogue here.
I, first of all, I forgot we said that. I also
I think this
forgot
is going to
what
be half the fun with this.
I also forgot what they were. So instead of asking, I just I tried to remember the words that my niece and nephew use and reach the young demographic, right? Here we go. I'm gonna start from the top and go down.
All
All
right.
right. So our
Always
first
got to be
category,
different.
yeah, first category at the top is sleigh. All right. So those that are projected to slay, as my niece loves to say about 30 times in a sentence. Yes, you're going to call me a homer, but I do have the logic to back it up. I'm going to put Bama in that category. The reason is they had a pretty decent showing last year, right? Like last season didn't end the way we wanted, but certainly better than a lot of us anticipated. I mean, we still got a bowl game, it's not that bad. The other reason I think is we have talent coming back, a decent amount of talent coming back. We've recruited really well in the offseason. And this is the first season that Kalen DeBoer actually has his own guys there. He was not that getting a Nick Saban recruiting class is a bad thing. He inherited a Nick Saban recruiting class, but it's also not his style of coaching. So he's finally got a recruiting class in the building that's his. He's starting to adapt everybody to his style of coaching. He's got his coaching staff in place, hopefully working out some of those kinks. So again, I agree with Wes. Until they show me that they are, mid, then I'm going to put them up here. And everybody can call me a homer, and that's fine. The other one is Georgia. I think that is kind of self-explanatory. They've got a lot of talent coming back, and they recruited really well in the offseason. I think they're going to stay up there. I wouldn't disagree that we might see them in Atlanta come, SEC championship time. I'm going to put Texas up here. Okay. And I believe they are in the slay category. I think most people do. I'm going to caveat it just a little bit though. There might be, and Texas is going to come for me hard, there might be a little bit of overrated in it. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it, and they could be, let's take Alabama, let's take my fandom outside of it. I'm not saying it because of Arch Manning. I know that a lot of people have said things about him, have some doubts. I don't necessarily have doubts. He's very young. I think he could step up and be the guy, right? My concern is on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Texas lost a lot of guys, okay? And you can have the best quarterback in the league. Alabama has shown on our own. You have a terrible offensive line, or you have new talent on either side of the line. That's going to impact your performance huge, maybe more so than who's actually behind center. So I'm just saying, I think they're slay. I'm there. I get it. They could very well be in Atlanta, certainly. But I'm just saying, watch the line, watch the O-line, watch the D-line, and see if they struggle a little bit. They may have some stutter steps in the beginning as they start to settle in. All right, the next one, and I don't know that I'm using this right, so I apologize. Brain rot words are not my thing. But the next category is let them cook. Okay. Again, I don't know if I'm using this right, but I'm doing my best.
I think you're in the ballpark, Jesse. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. I think you're good.
Okay. We'll say it with confidence. I'm putting Ole Miss there. I know that they didn't necessarily finish how we wanted them to, but they still got to 10 wins. And yeah, they were falling short of expectations, but I think Portal King Lane Kiffin can make some things happen, right? Like we've lost Jackson Dart. He's actually shown pretty well in preseason, if you've watched any preseason games. But again, I'll caveat this one as well. While Lane is our transfer portal king, it also can be kind of hard to get all those pieces integrated and performing at a top level. And again, they fell short with 10 wins. That's a lot of pressure. So we'll see. I don't think Lane Kiffin has any, heat on him about his job, but I'm just saying watch it a little bit. Let's see how these pieces fall into place. But at this point, let them cook, right? I also, in my let them cook category, I have Tennessee. I think Tennessee, despite the potential issues at quarterback or new quarterback or whatever, all the drama off the field was, who cares? I think they're good. I think they've got a lot of talent there. I think they've been recruiting well. I know they have a tough schedule, and that's certainly going to play into it. And it, they may drop some that they should, pick up, but we'll see. I think that they're like 90% there. So those are the only two in the let them cook category. The rest is mid, which is kind of like Midland. I was close.
You were.
I was trying here. My first one that I have in that category is going to be Florida. Florida's an interesting one. Wes, I think you hit on it. DJ Lagway is an incredible athlete. But they do have that really tough schedule. I mean, really tough. And yes, they pulled off 8-5 last year. And who saw that coming? We were all stunned that happened. And that got them, a preseason ranking, which is insane. But they have another tough schedule this year. They play 4 top 10 teams: Texas, Georgia, LSU, and Miami, plus number 19. All of these are current rankings. Texas A&M, and then number 21, Ole Miss, and number 24, Tennessee. This is wild. That's a hard schedule. So I don't care who you have behind center. That's going to be tough. And again, we all thought Billy Napier was gone. So for them to be mid, I think that's good for them.
We already had a nail in the coffin. Like I still don't know how he survived that. But
I'm still trying to figure out how they got to 8 wins last season, because we were convinced they were going to win like 2 games.
I was honestly shocked or predicting that 2 would be really hard to scrape out. Like, hard. My next one is going to be South Carolina. So 9-3 season, not bad. Great building block as you're going into 2025. But I think they've lost a lot, especially on defense. They had 6 of their top 7 tacklers have to be replaced. Not easy, even with transfer portal rules. It's really hard. They do have a really tough schedule. So I think they may be fighting for bowl eligibility. Again, they may do what South Carolina does and drop ones that they should win and win ones that they should not win. We'll see. But I am saying they're going to be having to scrap for everything. My next one is Oklahoma. So OU, I know we talked with Brady about it a lot. We learned a lot about Oklahoma, what the expectations are. And I think they're fine being kind of mid right now, because last year they were a little less than mid. But again, they've got some of the pieces in place now. They've got headliners on the roster. They've got the coaches in place. Making 2 coordinator changes is a big deal. So if they can really start to implement their own systems, they can get the guys to buy in, then I think they very well may have a decent season. And mid is not that bad, right? LSU is my next one. I know LSU is going to come for me. LSU likes to come for me. That's okay. I hesitated to put them in the let them cook category, and that could be wrong on my account. They do have a dynamic player in Garrett Nussmeier. He's settling in. He's going to finish out his collegiate career, like you guys mentioned. And they were able to get quite the haul from the transfer portal, as a lot of teams were. And so we'll see. I mean, I think if they can get their offense going, they can really let Nussmeier settle in, keep him healthy, keep him, playing on the field, then they may be able to move up into that let them cook category. But for me, I'm really interested to see how this weekend goes. Can they beat Clemson? How do they perform? I think that's really going to set the tone for them for the remainder of the season. My next one is A&M. I know I'm not just saying it because it's A&M, but they made some progress last season. They were stepping up. They had some instability at quarterback, no doubt. They had a lot of injuries last year, and they still went into November 7-1, which is not bad. They had 2 top 10 wins. So they weren't that far away from being able to compete for the SEC title. I think they're going to continue to make some progress and maybe by mid-season, end of season, jump out of mid and be and let them cook. Mizzou. They have to figure out their quarterback situation. We all know that. And they do have, I'm not really good with his last name, Bo Tribula? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
Sounds right.
Didn't know he was going to be the guy, but he's the guy. They do have some clear leadership at running back, so that's going to help them. And they have a manageable schedule yet again. So mid, I think so. And then we get into the next category, which I entitled Sigma. So Sigma.
I think you're right, because I'm looking here. It's used in I looked it up. It's used in a nonsensical, repetitive way within content considered low quality or trivial. So sounds right.
Pretty accurate.
Got it. Nailed it. I'm putting Auburn in that category. You guys touched on it already. Auburn, ever since getting Coach Freeze, and again, I think everybody, including the boosters, thought that they had made a good hire there. They just have not had an identity at all. And they're going to continue to struggle. We made jokes before, oh, get a transfer quarterback. That's what they do. That doesn't seem to be working anymore. I don't know how to help our brothers on the plains, but they're Sigma right now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an Alabama fan. Arkansas is my next one. I want them to do well, but you've already touched on it. Ball security is one thing, and they have not played, in my opinion, 4 full quarters consistently. I mean, they just haven't. And so for me, Coach Pittman's going to have to pull through this season. Otherwise, his barbecue pit might start heating up. The coals might start turning on.
I think this is his 6th year. On. I think that's right. So he's kind of at that point where people are like, look, is this all we've got or is there more? So
when you start having teams last year that were really low expectations, like a Florida who was almost out, like a Vanderbilt who was able to get some wins, when you become less than, it doesn't look good in the SEC. You cannot keep your job. It doesn't matter how much they like you. They're just going to bring you in and say, what would you say you do here? You're not going to be able to answer it. Vanderbilt is my next one. Again, Diego Pavia, incredible athlete, but I'm not saying this from a place of saltiness, but we'll see if we're able to carry over that magic into this season. Was that a flash in the pan? Who knows? We're going to find out. And then we have the final category that I like to call Delulu. So it's delusional, but the kids are saying Delulu.
Okay, because multi-syllabic words are kind of difficult. Got it.
Yeah. So Delulu, I've got State in there. We know Miss State. We feel for them. We want them to do better. And again, it's a hard place to recruit to. It's hard when you are not doing well and you're already a hard place to recruit to.
Right.
It's tough. I mean, you've got so many schools before the transfer portal that were snatching up talent out of the state of Mississippi already. Keeping in-state recruits there is really tough because you're also competing against Ole Miss. Starkville's just a hard place. And I hate that for them, right? But something's got to happen. It may be a coaching change. There may have to be just a complete cleaning of house. I don't know. I don't want it to be that way, but we'll see how it goes. And then my other one's Kentucky. Kentucky is my America's Next Top Model, Tiffany. And it is, we're rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And I just have not been impressed. They have fallen short of expectations. And Lexington is not a hard place to recruit to. It's just not. And so I don't know. I think they've skated by for so long, but because the sport is changing and because those that were at the bottom are now kind of in the middle, they're going to have to step up. They're no longer able to skate by and be like, it's okay. We won more than we lost. It's fine. I think expectations, even though they were so intense before on the top tier schools, I think that is now trickling down to the schools that were not top tier necessarily. Because now with the transfer portal and NIL, anybody can be top tier.